Hello, fellow fermenters, and just those of us who want to feel our very best, look our very best, but we want it to be from the inside out, because that's what nurtures relationships. So today we're going to do a little, we're going to make some super gut yogurt from scratch, from the actual pills. I did the other video where we started with a pre-existing starter, but today we're going to try something differently, and we're going to do it 4 different ways. We're going to two of the quarts. We're going to use the crushed pills, and we're going to change the milk up. You'll see, because this is not an exact science. This is really an art and a science, and I think it's so easy to get very stressed out about, oh, this much, this much. You know, sometimes mine works. Sometimes I have sort of, you know, an odd looking yogurt, but it's always tasted good, it's always smelled good, and it's always given us the results we want. Now, super gut yogurt is called SIBO yogurt in Dr. William Davis's book. I recommend that you buy this book because it's really a reference guide. You can listen to it on audio, but buy the hardback book because it's got lots of information. It's got recipes, and you're going to find on page 260, I think I'm telling you right, the exact recipe that I'm going by. Now we're going to use three different products. This is Digestive Advantage, and this is the Bacillus coagulans. I ordered this, I believe, from Walmart. Then we have this BioGaia product, which is actually the L-Reuteri, and it comes in little pills, so you have to crush those pills. And then there is the Lactobacillus gasseri, which I ordered this from Dr. Mercola. Now, all this information is in Dr. Davis's book. Now, I have 6 largemouth quart jars here. I have run them through boiling water in Achi Wawa. It's still hot. I'm going to move it out of the way though, so hopefully you can see better. I'm going to use ultra pasteurized half and half and ultra pasteurized whole milk. So far I haven't figured out a perfect brand. I try, you know, it's kind of whatever you can find sometimes because half and half is getting harder to find. I'm also going to use this prebiotic fiber that I mix. I use about 2/3 inulin and 1/3 acacia. Again, there's all kinds of prebiotic fibers. You got to have it, but you can kind of choose what you like. I want to have a disclaimer. I'm not an expert in this. I'm beginning, but I really do believe it's an adventure, and it's been a delicious thing that we have enjoyed for, I guess, about 4 or 5 months now. So these are still warm. I'm going to turn them over. I guess the first thing we want to do is to crush the pills. So what I've got here a Ziploc bag. You get 30 of these Lactobacillus reuteri BioGaia pills in a package, and they're sort of like little, you know, sweet tart things. I mean, they come in these little pills. So I'm going to count out 10 of these BioGaia L-Reuteri tablets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to just put them in a Ziploc, a heavy-duty Ziploc, and crush them with a rolling pin. You know, there's something so satisfying about crushing pills. I mean, or crushing anything with a rolling pin. I think it's my farm roots, actually, but I love it. But you can hear this crushing, and you got to use those muscles. Hopefully you've been gaining some more muscle mass from this super gut yogurt. I know I have. You should have seen how pathetic my arms looked before I started this, but they're getting better, and I'm thankful for that. So I'm going to crush it as fine as possible here. I'm going to do this twice. So I'll put this batch in one of the jars. Yeah, that's pretty fine. Look, that looks really good. So I'm going to put that in a jar here, and I'm going to crush the rest of them. I've already used 10 of these. They come 30 in a pack, and so I know there's 10 left. I actually counted them earlier. So we're going to crush these. And I think you want to use a heavy-duty Ziploc because when I finish the Ziploc, it looks kind of beaten up, so you don't want to get any holes in it and lose any of your product. Okay, there we go. So these are our 2 jars that we're going to be using the BioGaia L-Reuteri. Okay, want to get all of it. Alrighty, now we're going to put 1 L-Reuteri tablet in 4 of these jars. It's going to make sense in a minute because we're kind of doing it different ways. We've got the L-Reuteri tablets, but in these other 2, I'm going to use some pre-existing L-Reuteri yogurt that that I made and have had going in the fridge for quite a long time, because in Dr. Davis's book he says you can use the BioGaia tablets or you can use the some L-Reuteri yogurt. So here's what the Digestive Advantage pills look like. So we're going to put 1 of those in each jar. And don't let it stress you. Just do, you know, enjoy this process. I mean, this is medicinal food. This is what Hippocrates was talking about when he said, let food be your medicine and medicine be your food. We haven't had refrigeration for that much time, so, you know, I just love to get to talk to like some ancestors to find out how they preserve food, because they had to be so good at this. Okay, I've got some lids here that I've pre-labeled so I can keep this experiment straight. This one's going to have L-Reuteri and 100% half and half. This one's going to have the L-Reuteri starter and 50% half and half and 50% whole milk. This one's, of course, these are all the tabs, and the same thing's going to happen there. So let's go ahead and put the prebiotic in. Now I have this pre-mixed, as I mentioned. You're going to use 2 tablespoons of prebiotic mix. And if you guys watched me before, you know I don't stress over all this stuff. And I don't know if that's good or bad. It just depends on your personality. I feel like it's just fun to just not always go by a recipe, but generally we're going to use the recipe. So here's 2 tablespoons of prebiotic in each one. The acacia is kind of dark, so you have to really mix it in. So what I like to do in this case, since I'm really measuring more, I'm going to use a little half and half, a cup of half and half in each one of these, and try to stir all that in. So we'll speed the camera up here so you don't have to be bored through this. Okay, I'm stirring this in. It takes a little bit of stirring sometimes to get that prebiotic to dissolve. The prebiotic is food for the good bacteria. They love it. They've got to have it. And in fact, as many prebiotic foods as you can get into your day, the better. So I'm stirring this in. And the prebiotic needs to be pretty dissolved. I mean, that's a little bit of a challenge sometimes because there may be little chunks. The the good bacteria, the good microorganisms actually eat the prebiotic. It's food and nourishment for them. It's food and nourishment for us too. If you can incorporate more prebiotics into your day, prebiotic food, prebiotic fibers, you're going to feel better. We started putting chicory in our coffee, and it's not only delicious, but it's also an excellent prebiotic. Okay, so here we are with our little tab. So this one, I've got the prebiotic in there. I've got all the yogurt. It's all tablets. It's the Crush by Gaia. I'm going to make this one 100% half and half. You can see why you need these little labels. And I use this painter's tape all the time to label whatever I'm doing, because we just, you know, there's a lot going here. So here's the 100%. Got that one. This is going to be 50% half and half and 50% milk. Now there's a little bit of space taken up. So what I'm going to do is actually use 2 cups. I'm going to measure 2 cups of milk. I think I've used, sometimes I use not enough milk. There are certain people I've read that are very much more expert than I am, who say that you need a little bit more milk than half and half. So since we're not filling it all the way to the top, I'm going to do it this way. I may have to open another half and half. So that's going to be the 50% milk and 50% half and half, and my trusty lid there. Okay, so here we are with 100% half and half, and oh, I've got to put the L-Reuteri starter in. We're going to need that. Here's some L-Reuteri that I've made. Now this L-Reuteri turned out a little bit, it smells delicious. It tastes delicious, but see, it kind of separated. That happens sometimes. I don't know why, but I'm working on it. The consistency here is a little bit cottage cheesy, and so, you know, that's going to be a little bit of a challenge to measure. Of course, I'm going to just kind of guess there, but it's still good. Once again, traditional food is not always predictable. So there's 2 tablespoons of lactobacillus fermented yogurt. You almost hate to call this yogurt because it's really a fermentation product. So much better than yogurt. I mean, on the worst day of a fermented yogurt, you're way better off than on the best day of a, you know, some packaged yogurt that doesn't have really very many live cultures or very many beneficial live cultures. In fact, it's just so interesting how, you know, this is gonna double. These bacteria double about every 3 hours, so we're gonna have it double 12 times. And you think about that old thing you used to hear as a kid: would you rather have a penny that doubles every day for 30 days, or would you rather have $1 million? Well, you would for sure rather have a penny that doubles every day. And that's the same concept with this fermented yogurt. You just get so much more goodness in every bite, way more than you get with any kind of packaged yogurt that's full of preservatives, full of sugar, you know, not stuff your body needs. Okay, so this one's L-Reuteri yogurt, and I'm going to use 100% half and half. So let's fill that up. Some people fill their jars less full. I mean, it's totally your preference. So we'll stir that up a little bit and get that lid on there. Then this one is 50% milk and the rest half and half. So I'm going to measure out 2 cups of milk, and then we'll top it off with half and half. Since the Sous Vide, we have the 12-liter Sous Vide, and I'm just gonna finish that off. I have 4 jars here, but I'm gonna do 2 more jars with kefir. You know, you don't have to be from Oklahoma to know that there's more than one way to say K-E-F-I-R. So we'll just say it both ways, then we'll be right half the time. So if you take a prepared quality kefir, kefir, you can use 2 tablespoons of this, 2 tablespoons of your prebiotic mix, and whatever liquids you want. Of course, in the book it tells how to do all of this dairy-free. So just buy the book, it's so awesome. So here we go. I'm going to do 2 tablespoons just to use my space in the sous vide. Now in the book it talks about 106 degrees for this SIBO yogurt, the Supergut yogurt, and you know, the Lactobacillus reuteri is happiest at 100 degrees. So on the forum, several people have asked Dr. Davis about this, and I love his answer. He's like, you know, do it wherever you want. The thing is, these bacteria like body temperature, and I mean that just makes so much sense. So you know, I'm going to do this about 102. And I'm going to use my rough estimate, since these are not an experiment. I'm just going to split the difference here. Oops, I'm putting kefir back in. Oh well, let's see what happens. We'll know if the bacteria like it. So we're going to stir that in just to get those prebiotics dissolved as much as possible. Sometimes you'll end up with a little bit of prebiotic at the bottom, but it doesn't seem to matter. I mean, I just stir it all in before we eat it. And you can kind of hold it up and look and get a good spatula and smash it in there. It's going to be much deliciousness when it's finished. Probably. You're going to have all your friends wanting a quart of this, so keep plenty in the fridge. It's a fun, it's really sharing love when you share this delicious yogurt. So I'm going to just finish off this little bit of half and half and then top it off with milk, because we need space in the fridge. So, you know, we know this is probably 60% half and half, but that's worked for me before. I just want to be a little bit more precise for you guys. So here we go. I have a lid somewhere. Okay, so here's my sous vide. I'm going to put it in there. I'm going to set it for 102 degrees for 36 hours. It's about 10 a.m. It'll be finished about 10 p.m. tomorrow night. I'm going to be back to show you what we've gotten with these different variations of half and half, milk, starter, all of that. I'll be back. All right, these finished at 10:15 last night. After dark, I'm ready to gear down, and so it's the next morning. They've been in the fridge. You'll notice this is the all starter, all half and half, and look how it's separated. This is like cheese on top and whey on the bottom. Four of these yogurts did that. Both forms of the Supergut yogurt started from pills, as well as the L-reuteri yogurt started from existing L-reuteri. Now this has not happened to me before, so I am very thankful that we also tested kefir. So you see that the kefir turned out beautifully smooth. In fact, it will almost stand up on its own. So the kefir was made with the same ingredients as the starter Supergut and the L-reuteri yogurt. So what do you do about that? I would have probably been terrified of this and thrown it away, but now I won't. It smells delicious. You always want to smell it. You want to, use your sense, use the sense God gave you to see if it's good. They all smell great. So we want to separate this cheesy portion from the whey. When we got our first starter, it was in the form of cheese, and it was delicious. So how do we separate that? I want to show you how to use. You can use cheesecloth. You can use like a sprouting lid, and I recommend in terms of a sprouting lid that you probably need the smaller ones. You know, they come in sets of 3, but use the smallest piece. Here's another form of sprouting lid that's a little stainless steel top. Whatever you want to use. I'm going to use this cheesecloth, and I'm going to just, they kind of seal. I smelled of all these, but they'll seal back. Can you smell this through the camera? It is wonderful. So what I'm going to do is put the cheesecloth over that and just screw this down. And then we're going to just turn it over a bowl and let it drain. It may need to drain for hours and hours, but I probably will stir it up off camera just to get it going. But then you can use the whey, or you can use the cheese to make new yogurt. So I'm going to do that in a subsequent video, make another video and see what happens, because it is a little bit of a shock to me that all of these are separated. And I wanted to make sure that it's not, you know, my half and half, or one of the steps in there where something is not absolutely as it should be. So, but I want to take have you look again at this kefir. It's fabulous. It's, you know, it's exactly what you want to put nuts on, to put granola on, to put fruit on. It's so, so good. And the key for gut health is diversity. You want to have, you know, all kinds of good microbes in your gut. So start with Dr. Davis's protocol in his Super Gut book. I think I have it here. There's a 4-week protocol that you can look at, and part of that is Lactobacillus reuteri, which does all kinds of good things, including oxytocin to improve your relationships. And then you can make the 3 use the Super Gut yogurt that has 3 microbes. And then as your yogurt adventure continues, try kefir, try, you know, try to ferment other things. And of course, check with Donna Schwenk. She is the expert. Fermentation Donna, Firm Donna for short. She's awesome, and I'll be on her inner group. So I want to learn from her. I know that fermented foods create diversity in the gut. Health starts in the gut, but I want you to know that the gut starts in the mouth. So more on that later. Thanks for joining me, and have a great time. Bye. P.S. I just learned something. This was not the best idea. A better idea is a bigger bowl with a colander in it. And then, ooh, you hear that draining? That's awesome. Can you hear that? That's not my heart beating. This is the whey draining. So that's a better way. Have fun. I'll be posting more videos of learning. Just learn along with me. And join me on my podcast, Vitality Made Simple. We're going to have lots of fun. Thanks.